Forgive me these lines. To me, you are Portugal. How could I not sing?
I was made not only to breathe, but through this suffering to reach the starry sky. This is what the worlds hope for. I have to look down to walk on these stones, and it reminds me of my pain. Still, I keep walking.
Principle: that what we renounce, we recover in God. Thomas Merton. Kind eyes are pools of water in this parched desert. Generous hands are rays of the sun that revive a cold heart. Forgive me if these lines only reveal my esteem, but to offer more than that would be to break a promise.
To feel the sun's rays in the palm of my hand is better than holding precious stones. The gems will slip through my fingers, but the warmth of the sun will flow into my heart. I come to the garden to be near pools of deep water. I can gaze upon their surface for countless hours and not grow weary. I study every movement as they respond to the wind and the rain. But I can only observe these waters. To know them would be to drown. The path of desire is forged by aspiration and followed with haste. Why must I leave the garden? My strength comes from rays of the sun. Pools of water quench my thirst. Beyond this wall there is no rest, only longing for the garden. But you lead me away, and I must follow you, for this is your will. I do not desire peace that comes only when the sun is bright, but peace that comes as a gift during a storm. I wait for a soft breeze to fill my senses with the fragrance of the garden and the songs of birds. It passes, but it only leaves a gentle touch on my face. My other senses are mute, but I am content and do not notice. Garden of Secrets. Concealed paths and murky waters hide the truth. Only a heart free from deceit lifts the veil and reveals the light. Songbird, always on the run, repeating sweet songs and stealing my heart. We are equal, from the same source. Pulse, water, rhythm, life. Dance with me until night. Remember me in your dreams. I'll assume the shape of my iniquity if I don't conform to your will. But it's not enough to know the truth. I must live in truth to live in freedom. Facing the garden wall, I whisper my name. But too soft for an echo, it's caught up with the breeze. Facing the wall, I speak my name, but timid and weak, it falls to the ground. Facing the wall, I cry my name. The wall responds, "She's here," but the garden already knew. I know that the gate is narrow. I've seen it, and my heart desires. I know that this life is short, but the way seems so long, and I'm already weary. Today I won't look upon the waters. I won't listen to songbirds or smell fragrant flowers. I won't feel the sun in my hands. I'll hunger and thirst till tomorrow. I'll be a body without senses. I can't stand in the sun's path without burning. I can't walk on these stones and not stumble. I can't look upon deep waters without fear. But I can't be withdrawn and isolated. I can't hide from the world if I want to live. The promise of spring hangs in the air, as yellow flowers kiss the landscape, and paint before my eyes an image of the one who makes my heart rejoice. What spirit is here who knows my thoughts and fulfills my requests even before I ask? To possess is past the instant we achieve the joy. Emily Dickinson. I'll never possess you, songbird, for then your songs would cease, and they bring me such joy, the honest emotions they inspire. Written on the face is truth, revealing an affinity that vibrates with sympathy. We dance with words carefully chosen, peeling back layers until the soul is reached.
My muse is a place, but it has a face and a name, and flies free as a dove. My muse is love. I will be where the tracks meet the linden trees, when the doves along the rooftops and wires cease their singing as the shadows descend, where the rays of the sun reach the highest branches, where the rains collect and sink into the roots. Wherever my eyes are inspired to guide me, I will be there. I don't need to know what the tree knows, nor see what it has seen. I only want to feel the pulse of creation that flows in its trunk, within my hands. Like a flower, petals open to the world at morn, and folded without regret at day's end. Without regret, without lament, like a flower. Every day the fire consumes. Every day this war resumes and my wall weakens. But I'll rise from the flames. I'll reinforce my defenses. I'll face a new day. Not because I'm strong, but because I love you. Half asleep, I dream and sense the presence of another. I touch a hand that isn't there. Nature doesn't speak with words. She brings peace simply by being near. It's the same thing with certain people. Their presence is worth more than gold. Heaven exists. Heaven exists, or I'll never see you again. Heaven exists. Heaven exists, or I'll never see you again. Oh, I'll see you. I'll see you. I'll see you again. I'll see you. I'll see you. I'll see you again. In dreams I swim through the air as if it was the sea. But I cannot fly. At least I can sing. You have overcome death. Help me overcome my tears. Help me to overcome myself, because I'm not even trying. I'm not even trying. Nature plays her sweet songs, and I need not wonder for whom they're meant. They're meant for me, because the author knows, the author knows, the author knows the rhythm of my heart. It was his creation, and it beats only because of him. It beats only for him, beats only for him. A spoken word is less eloquent, perhaps, but more powerful than a written word. There is less likelihood that what is spoken will be misunderstood, if said with sincerity. We'll see. We'll see. Life is good. I can't complain. God provides. God provides. In His hands I will abide. I love this garden, this land. I'll remember. Waters that inspire, sunlight that heals, birds that sing. How can I withstand this windstorm and not be swept away? I've no roots strong enough to keep me grounded. So I will fly, and I will trust, and I'll be moved, and I'll be safe, because the source of this wind directs its path. Morning Thoughts. Love never fades. Only illusions fade. Dreams do not fade, but they can be abandoned by the dreamer. Emotions get swept away, but they are fleeting by nature and undependable. Things may decay, but they are only things. But love never fades, nor will it be carried away or decay, or abandon the beloved, or else it was not love. Everything in nature moves in perfect time, although some things seem to move with haste. The fury of the wind during a storm, a startled bird taking flight, waves that break against the shore, the morning light, and the beating of my heart. To dwell in love is like this. We enter into love freely and arrive continually. Love has no beginning or end. I linger long about your door and cast my shadow, nothing more. These plaintive lines of poetry, illusions of reality, are writ in hopes to quench a fire, enkindled by my heart's desire. My one desire denied by fate, that blooms inside the garden gate. It seems my lot to wait and wait. But nature's true, and in due time, the rose I sought to make but mine will start to wither on the vine. And fate proves kind, and in the end, I'll come to see it as my friend. For this I know with certainty, all mingle with eternity. One day I'll withdraw from your door, and cast my shadow nevermore. The seasons have changed. So, who knew? Spring is gone and summer has come. But whether there is wind, sun, mist, or rain, for me, each day is equal to another. Any day is a good day to walk. It's better if life simply happens. Better if relations aren't made part of a scheme. Happiness won't come to those who conspire. Inspiration won't come to a life contrived. With every breath that lacked joy, I gathered memories like wildflowers and formed a wreath to adorn my head. To turn beauty into a lie would be the worst betrayal. Renouncing this fruit is how I show my adoration. Out of silence comes inspiration. Thoughts and words flow. Senses awaken and move until we return once more to solitude. Never question my loyalty, but never doubt my love, because the cry of a dove is only for her mate. Can I know this country without putting my feet in the waters? I hear these waters are cold. I am accustomed to the cold. My feet often get cold, but hardly ever wet. The wind is neither seen nor heard until it moves things, until it whispers through the leaves, until the trunks bend and sway and knock, until the waters dance upon the surface, move my soul, and fill me with joy. If only this emptiness was for things of this earth, the temporal, the ephemeral, the physical. But I'll drink from this cup with a happy face and hope that I suffer alone. I turned my back on the waters. What else could I do? I turned my back on the waters because I could not stay. I turned my back on the waters, but this I can say. I'll come back to the waters because I'm not done singing. From your heart beat the drum. Use both hands. Hear me sing lines of love. We carry sorrows on our backs like burdens, but they should fall off like old leaves from an olive tree. We swim in the waters to lighten the weight, and find that they are washed away by mercy. When I am near the waters, they are all that I see. When I am away from the waters, I see them in everything. I thought I looked into a mirror when I saw your face, but it was a window with a view of hope. Loving God more doesn't mean we love others less. We love others best when we first love God. It's not the waiting that causes suffering, but the doubting and the unknown. To be always well is an outlook, because if I say that I'm well, and if I believe it too, a good day is more likely to happen. You can't tell the wind where to blow. It blows where it will. You can't tell the sun not to burn. It burns as it wills. But the waters bring healing, and the earth brings hope, only with your permission. The oceans are continuous and interconnected bodies of water. They are waters without limits, except for those defined by humans. And we are like these waters, bodies separated only by convention, if not by God. You can hide your eyes from the sun, but they radiate from within, and are more brilliant than the moon when it appears during the day. Why hide your face? Why carry so much pain? Each season is a new beginning. Autumn does not bring death, but paves the way for a new birth, with every leaf that falls to the ground. Be strong. You flee and I want to follow. You sing and I want to soar. Because you are, I want to be. But I can't tell you if you don't look back, and this you will not do. It may appear that I only live for the object of my love. I do not. I live to love, and the object fulfills the objective. Masculine are the hands that toil, fingers that bleed and swell daily. Feminine is the hair, the tears, that wipe away the blood and take away the pain. Gentle is the night that heals when toil wins rest, wins perfect rest in an embrace. There's a summer wind in the fall. Maybe it's a sign, so I dream. There's a summer wind in the fall, but I know what time it is. I'm no fool. There's a summer wind in the fall. I put on my windbreaker and I cry. To feel the waters move between my fingers, to let the waves wash away my fear, to gaze upon beauty and never have to look away, to dive into the deep silence and find rest. Portugal, I love everything about you, even these stones that make me stumble. Perhaps they are what I love the most. Sweet or salty? She asked me. What is sweet? I responded. Sweet is tradition and comfort. It satisfies, but it can make you fat. And what is salty? Salty comes like a wave that swells and washes over you. You will be thirsty for more. I wanted them both, but she said I could only choose one. If poetry is life, then the words that I write are only illusions unless they are lived. If an ideal exists, then this life is worth living until the words come true. I saw a word of love form at the mouth of the river, where the water enters into the sea. If you tell me that this tree will never bear fruit, I will stop watering it. I will let it burn in the sun until it withers and dies. But if you tell me that there is yet hope, I will wait a lifetime and keep it alive with my tears. If all I have to give is nothing, is that enough? In its essence, it is priceless, but in its substance, it has no value. The fruit of my freedom, my love. May your memory be filled with more smiles than tears, more light than darkness, more love than hate, and more hope than despair. For a shadow to exist, light and darkness are necessary. I am the darkness that creates my own shadow. Only when the sun is above me will the shadow diminish. To see but not to touch, I would rather be blind. To live but not to love, for death I'd be ready. To want, not to need, the sweetness of the fruit. Tell me I will never return, that my hands will remain empty. Never more will I look upon the waters, that my hope was in vain, my joy an illusion. Tell me I will never return. My reason, satisfaction. On my flank, opposition. My life, my pride, my thorn in my side. Do you know? Do you know that a promise still hangs in the air? Can you hear? Can you hear the sounds along the rails? A unique beat at every stop. Will you listen? Will you listen to the songs of my heart, the old and the new? Will you remember? Will you remember that I have loved you?
What can I sing that has not been sung? What can I write that has not been written? Where can I go when you are not with me? Only you have the words that I long to hear. There will always be roses, but song after song, sweet memory exposes the jewel in the throng. Maybe I'll disappear into the shadows, but I won't go away without tears. Maybe I won't look behind me, but my memory is good. Maybe I'll appear not to care, but to leave will make my heart break. You float with the breeze to alight onto my hand. What chance has joined us? Linger with me a while. Close your wings and rest. I will keep very still. But I understand. You must keep moving. It is how you stay alive. To entertain a thought so strange that I can never walk in this garden again. It is a sad predicament to be like this, where my love has been my investment, and my tears will be my return. It throbbed in my veins, but I didn't feel. It rang in my ears, but I didn't hear. It stood before me, but I didn't notice, because I only saw you. It's better, isn't it? This profound thought? Not to feel a longing, but simply to be glad that you exist in the world. This people, this land. Oh, how beautiful you are. Do you even know? You are a treasure hidden in my heart, a source of inspiration, an unwritable poem. Portugal. The waters are indifferent to my desire to be near. They assume no responsibility for my doubt and fear. Still, their presence is a source of comfort, even though they are, at the same time, a source of my unrest. You know my desires. I've written them here on these stones as if I were some god. What is it, if not grief, to feel robbed of something that I had never possessed? Is it then theft? Then I am the thief, thief of my own imagination. I imagine that the waters are steady and sure, that when they are calm, it is to bring me peace, and when they are turbulent, to teach me a lesson. But when they are cold,
I can barely breathe. O dawn, how brief is the hour that ushers in the day. Tranquil is the water in an ancient pool. Charmed are the eyes that find themselves drawn in. Bring the darkness, but let me rest. Give me solitude, but let me have peace. But return to me on sad days, and be my light. You play your music before the world, but you hide your face when you sing. Do you know that even roosters hold their breath to listen while you call upon the dawn? Lovingly I gaze, longingly I weep over your landscape, watering these stones. How distant are the lands and vast the sea that lies between, and I ache in my bones. But a poet once mused that though man lauds from afar, still must he yearn for beauty, though his passion be dumb. Praise be to God, who provides peace and hope and sympathy, who grants us to grieve, but never alone, and only for a time. But as I stand, my time seems borrowed, my peace all but flown. Yet only fools obey what fear commands, and your beauty I seek. So seek I will, passionless if I must, to laud you still. Not now, but someday. Someday I'll return. I'll return in this boat to these shores. To these shores in this boat I'll return someday. Someday, but not now, not now.